Mississippi State football program are trying to do. He is trying to rebuild and reboot this Stanford football program that won with Harbaugh, and then that bled over for a while into, what was his name? Their second.
Shaw.
Yeah, David Shaw,
Wow.
who was always on the NFL draft deal for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He didn't really have the personality for TV, but and then it eventually got away from him, and then they've been god awful. So
Bad,
you know, he's trying to get them rolling. I feel like he retired at 24, but he didn't. I mean, he had played a few years.
It was still young.
In the he was in with the Indianapolis Colts, but 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We've got some good audio from Lane, and then Andrew Luck talking about kind of building today and what all it takes. LSU and Ole Miss are in an absolute battle at the top in the portal. LSU with 38 commitments with Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss has said we don't want to go away. We liked winning the last 6 years, and they put everything in place with Pete Golding, Austin Thomas, Keith Carter, Walker Jones, and their boosters, who are really aggressive, and you have to be. And they have the number 2 portal class, and then Texas has the number 3 portal class. So I think about that. You know, the Blue Bloods are now getting in. LSU's 1.
Yeah.
Texas is 3. Ohio State's 4. Penn State's a borderline blue blood, but they're huge. 5. You know, they've got 600,000-700,000 living alums.
They're blue blood.
And then Notre Dame, even, you know, now they only have 7 commits, but they're so think about the quality and the average rating of player for Notre Dame, who's number 10 in the transfer portal with only 7 commits.
Wow.
I mean, their average star rating's over 92 for their transfers. Okay, which is much higher than some of the teams I just referenced in front of them. They only have 7 commits, but they're number 10 in the country. So they're going to they're going to retain their players, sell academics, sell their alumni network, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, and of course they've got the Catholic draw, the network draw, all that. Even though they haven't won it since 1988. Now they were in the national championship game last year, and they've got a fantastic coach, I believe, in Marcus Freeman. But Notre Dame is 10th in transfer portal right now with 7 commits. That's it. And they're probably done.
Yeah, right.
Let's see what they did, just out of curiosity, because they could be back. You know, my dumb blank said that Notre Dame would never win it again. And then we got this thing called NIL and portal. I don't think they would have in straight up high school. Of course, they weren't going to dabble in JUCO, but when we were just in the last iteration of high school and JUCO recruiting, I don't think that they were ever going to win it again. Let's see what they did, how heavy they went on the line. D lineman, edge rusher. Okay. And then they went and got a couple of corners and a wide receiver. All right. So there you go. But Ole Miss, rip roaring, ready to go.
Yeah.
26 commitments. Texas is 3rd. They only have 16 commitments. Ohio State is 4th. They only have 16 commitments.
Wow.
Indiana's right there. Your guy. Let's go back to our guy before we drop this Lane Kiffin audio.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
God, the pause is beautiful. It's just like Sinatra. I mean,
I feel like he practiced that
in New York in 1972.
He had to practice that.
Holy Mary Olzap. He didn't. I mean, that was totally off the cuff.
It was.
He did an FU to everybody. I don't care if you don't know who I am. I don't care if you don't respect my resume of coaching at a place where no one watched my games for 12 to 13 years of my life. I was making $400,000 a year. James Madison, he thought he was going to be there forever. He then went he made $3.5 million over 40 years, and this year he made $14.2 million. They just posted it.
That's with that bonus too?
Yeah, all the bonus.
Yeah,
He made $14.2 million. Now they have to renegotiate his contract according to his contract to make him a top 3 paid head coach.
This is the contract.
For our listeners, Kurt Signetti, Indiana. I know that's a lot.
Love it.
That's what's going on there. He made over $14 million after over 40 years, making $3.5 million. It's an incredible, remarkable, insane, spectacular, beautiful story of a guy who nobody knew about for 40 years of his life. And now you can't turn left or right if you love football like we do and you do, whether it's college, high school, college, or NFL. You cannot look left or right without seeing Kurt Signetti at 64 years old. What was funny yesterday is he said, well, I would retire. This would be the ideal time to retire, but my family needs the money. I thought that was hilarious.
He kills it.
He's like, let me at least stack a couple of $14 million a year.
Yeah.
And then, everybody's good.
Let me get some M's.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, Jackson Meadows, Bo Bounds, Out of Bounds, ESPN 1059 The Zone. The show is brought to you by Total Transportation of Mississippi. They offer nationwide and regional routes for solo and team drivers. Total Transportation of Mississippi. This is where it gets cool. Weekly pay and monthly bonuses powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi. How about this? Frequent home time and full benefits powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi. Paid vacation powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi. Jump in today. It's on the front page, totalms.com. Totalms.com, another great Mississippi company. They're offering nationwide and regional routes. It's a great company. You'll get paid, weekly pay, monthly bonuses. Totalms.com. Totalms.com. Apply today. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Jackson, I went to Taste Italian Kitchen yesterday, not last night. I don't get out much at night during the week. But when I'm traveling, I'll do it. But when I'm home, I'm at the house.
Right.
The dog needs me.
Of course.
I give him a ton of treats. I mean, he's 18 years old. Yeah. I don't know how he's still here, but anyway, he's a Maltipoo, and he can't see or hear, but he knows where everything is in the house.
He's good then.
So he can navigate it. Yeah. Now, every now and then he bumps into something.
Fine.
But yeah, I mean, he's good. But
so do I.
We went to Taste Italian Kitchen for a late lunch yesterday, and we started with the world famous meatball. My mom had not been there, so we took her, Wendy and I, and it was fabulous. And then we just cruised into some other food. So, boom, it was fabulous.
Entree.
Wendy and I split Cooper's Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fabulous sandwich that they have.
I like that.
I had a little side Caesar.
Nice.
I was starving by the time we got there. And so I ate more than I usually do.
Yeah.
But, and then we just said the heck with it. We ordered some tiramisu.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all were in there.
It was fabulous.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah. What about you? Did you eat McDonald's?
I don't remember what it was last night.
Okay.
Oh, no. Actually, I had Italian as well.
Okay.
Yeah. From a little Clinton spot over there.
Okay.
In Roma.
Is that one of those like Fazolios or something?
Nah, it's a little more. I
don't even know what. Did I say that right?
Fazoli's.
Fazoli's.
Dude, don't disrespect those breadsticks.
I mean, that's a joke to me.
Okay.
Dude, come on.
All right, let's get in some delicious audio brought to you by Eye Care Professionals. Dr. Kurt Jeffries and the team on Lakeland Drive. Cataract surgery, routine eye exams, LASIK surgery. Eye Care Professionals. 2 locations on Lakeland Drive. Dr. Kurt Jeffries and the other physicians and awesome people there. 2 locations on Lakeland Drive. I want to start off with Lane on Whit Weeks, linebacker at LSU. This is Lane Kiffin, the head football coach at LSU.
One of the first goals was keeping Whit Weeks here because I felt playing against him when he was healthy, what he would bring to the defense and what he would bring to the team. And then I also felt when he wasn't playing, the difference in the defense. So, we look for him to be a big leader in coming back. And it was really neat. Even though he's not from the state, I feel a lot when I talk to the players from the state, this special thing about they genuinely have this passion and care for playing in the stadium. And even though he's not from the state, he talked about a big part of why he came back was he didn't want to leave LSU football where it was at. He's like, I came here to a place where everybody was scared to play LSU. That's not the case right now. And when it goes, I want to come back and get the physical football back to LSU and leave it the way that I came here, how it was when I came here. So I thought that was really neat, because that's kind of a lost thing in college football right now about how people really feel about the place they play at. And so that was really cool. And he's a really special leader to think that way versus just, I'm going to go to the NFL and chase the money there. And a lot of agents push them to do that. And he was like, no, I want to come back. He goes, if you're going to do this thing the way that you said and create a physical team and a physical mindset and bring that back to LSU, he's like, I want to be part of that because I want that to be my legacy.
Wow. I mean, Lane went on and on there with linebacker Whit Weeks at LSU. Lane's getting even more philosophical. I mean, he grew up media-wise at Ole Miss. He was in a shell. He didn't get to talk to anybody at Alabama. Nobody was paying that much attention out in Southern Cal, but whatever. He was only at Tennessee for a year, so we didn't see him that much, and it was a totally different era in 2009. Florida Atlantic, none of y'all or me were paying attention to that, even though it sounds cool and living in Boca Raton sounds awesome. And then he gets to Ole Miss. The first year's COVID, really, really weird. Don't see as many of the guys. Everybody goes off the grid for a while. And then slowly but surely, he starts stacking this media persona. And he I think he busts out maybe in 2023. And then 2024 and 25 in Oxford. One, they were unbelievable. I mean, great records, won a ton of games, all that. And then he found his NFL quarterback, and then he got real salty and hypey and vocal and snarky on Twitter. And it just built and built and built, just started stacking all that stuff. Do we have the Saban part? Okay, great. This is Lane Kiffin talking about what Nick Saban told him about the LSU job.
When John Carmouche and Verge and Julie came in and met with me, I know I keep saying it, it was just different. The feeling was different, and as I sat there and I told the story at the press conference, I was torn. And when I called Coach Saban and talked it through with him, he said, Lane, you'll always regret if you don't go to LSU. It's the best job in America. And when he said that, that really made the decision for me. And as I've looked at it, it has pushed me. It has got me out of a comfort zone that we were doing amazing things, but you come here and you feel the power of the place, and it drives you every day to even go to another level.
Okay, so this is interesting. Let's unpack that for a second. So Lane's talking about he was torn between Ole Miss and LSU, and I get it. He had Ole Miss gave him the opportunity to get out of jail, so to speak, to build extraordinary wealth and to have success. And anything he wanted, they gave him. I mean, he spent money,
Yeah.
and when they didn't have it, they went out and raised it, which is a smart way to do. I mean, Lane was he's doing that now even at LSU. I mean, he's like, I'm going to get players. Y'all can figure it out. And every P4 school can figure it out. It's just a matter if you put that kind of pressure on, your fundraisers, your athletic department, your collective, your initiative. But unpack that as to, hey, I'm now like rebooting again in my career. Like as much of a Jack Blank as you think he is or may think he is, the guy is willing to like shed and reboot. And it's amazing considering what a spoiled brat he was 16, 17, 18 years ago and got way too much too quick and didn't know what to do with the Raiders job, didn't know what to do with the Tennessee Vols job, and didn't really know what to do with the Southern Cal job. However, he did win 10 games at Southern Cal, and they were on massive probation. In hindsight, they may should have given him that one more year because even though he was still in major brat, immature stage, he may have been able to pull that damn thing off. Okay, but Pat Hayden was a terrible athletic director, and, you know, the rest is history. They fire Lane, hire Sark. That didn't work either. And then they've, been tripping all over themselves since. Now, Lincoln Riley may get this thing rolling. He just landed the number one high school class, signing, like 40 dudes out of high school. And they may get rolling again. But Lane, he went from he hated Saban's early mornings. He never got there on time. I mean, you talk to people, Jake Coker. Lane was late. Yeah, we'd be sitting, here you are, Saban's got all this pressure on the Alabama football building every day. Every day you are under the gun to get better, to know your blank, to get locked in, to get focused, or you will be gone. As a player, they'll drop you off outside the city limits of Tuscaloosa. As a coach, he'll cut you in a heartbeat. Process. Thank you. Saban was the first to start processing players at a super high rate. But because he was winning, it was okay.
Yeah.
We get real sentimental about different things in our collegiate athletics world because we're very collegiate, all caps. And a lot of it's silly, as we all know. But it's funny, we get into, but they love our town and they love us and they love the colors that we wear and the merch. And they go to this spot, this restaurant. They can never, they can't go to another restaurant in another town.
Right.
I mean, I've dined all over the country. It's amazing. But anyway, and now he's up at, my point in all that is now he's up at 4:30 in the morning. He's showing you a picture of driving in when it's dark. He's tweeting at 4:48 in the morning. He is so driven, and maybe Ole Miss wins it with him. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it drove. I said this 3 years ago. If you've been listening to the show, it drove him crazy that Kirby Smart was at a Blue Blood.
Oh yeah.
And Steve Sarkisian was at a Blue Blood. He believes he's better than both. He damn sure believes he's better than Mario Cristobal. They don't like each other at all. Maybe they'll face each other in the college football playoff in the next 3 or 4 years, LSU and Miami. Now, he does get along to whatever extent that is in Lane's world. I think, Lane has acquaintances, not really friends. He does get along with Kirby and I guess Sark. But he hasn't played Sark since being at Ole Miss. Okay, yeah. But he has Kirby, obviously. They've had some battles and so on. But he's not he wants a national championship, may even win 2 before going to the NFL. You don't know, Jackson. I mean, it could be a 3-year stretch. It could be a 5-year, or maybe on that 5th or 6th year, he finally, gets into the NFL. Right?
When he gets there, he kicks the door down, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Until I blast right through it and just starts wheeling and dealing, baby.
Does he do this at his press? Does Lane Kiffin do this in 5 years at his NFL press conference?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
He may not even have to say a word at that point. Walk in, show him your face, walk on out.
Okay.
Face card.
Let's switch gears. John Harbaugh to the New York Giants to coach Jackson Dart.
All right.
And Scattaboo.
Is Harbaugh a quarterback developer? Did I miss that?
I don't know if I'm going that far, but he is one hell of a football coach.
Oh yeah, great coach.
And he understands roster building, which Lane does. Look, this is all. It's a little bit different. There's some similarities, but there's some differences still in the college and NFL game. But it is all about roster building quickly today in collegiate athletics. That's what Lane's doing at LSU. We talked about it in basketball with Beard and Jans. I mean, it's all about hitting on 2 to 3 guys in basketball and then filling in. And Patino, I think, has talked about this, and I'm bouncing back and forth, but it's the same thing with Brian O'Connor and Mike Bianco, as far as roster building. And people feel like Brian O'Connor, although there's a lot of pressure on him to win because Mississippi State has been not any good in football and pretty good in basketball, but this year's a disaster. So everybody's like, Oak has to win. Oak has to win big, because just like – and I like that. I mean, I want you to be more driven. Like Ole Miss is driven to win, right? I mean, LSU is like, we're getting this right, other programs. But as far as roster building, Signetti and Lane are the Frank Sinatras, right? The Madonnas, the U2s, right? Of the Dr. Dre's of roster building. And it's just right in his will. It almost looks easy for him, but I know it's not.
How?
But for Lane, it's like it's easy for him. He knows he can evaluate Billy Glasscock, his former guy who's now at Ole Miss, Austin Thomas. I mean, he's got the eye for what he wants in the premium positions and then he went on and on yesterday about, we'll drop that on the other side. Lane on expectations, he kind of talks about what you have to do once you get your new 50-something players on campus and how you get that. That's where he's everything. I know y'all are tired of me talking about this. Everything's expedited. Can you get your players in? Can you get them to figure out what you want? Can you get them to kind of bond and at least create some kind of chemistry in the locker room? Is your strength and conditioning program unbelievable and really doing not just working out? Anybody can work out. Are you working out with a purpose to where you can take it and it works on the football field, right? Roster building. Lane Kiffin, Kurt Signetti, and a few others. Look at these NFL jobs that are open.
Well, some of them closed yesterday.
Harbaugh and Jackson Dart. He's gonna turn around this New York Giants organization. We're powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
Is sound awarded.
Live in the studio.
It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Sliced bread. A guy named Sliced Bread.
What?
Just trying to find some recruits.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin flew to Atlanta, Georgia to do a follow-up with Jordan Seaton. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Here's to the rack of lamb, rare to medium rare. Kessler Prime in the Renaissance, side of crab meat, little escargot for Jackson Meadows, and some fried crab claws. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. Straight Funk with me. He's got on a Jackson Bandits shirt from 26 years ago.
Sir.
Only the state of Mississippi rolls out semi-pro hockey and doesn't serve beer.
What were they doing?
I don't know, man. I guess they had to face the people they had to face on Sunday mornings. We've come a long way, my man. We have come a long, long, long way. I mean, minor league baseball and minor league hockey is driven by beer. I mean, it's the only reason why they stay open. I hate to say it. Some of you may not like it.
Just is.
Whatever. All right. The Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. Do we want to give away a Jake Mangum baseball today?
Ooh, we can do that.
Okay.
I'll have to pick it up tomorrow, but we can do that.
Or we can use that case right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got 1, 2, 3,
I forgot about that.
4 or 5 cases right there.
Yeah.
Plus, we put one in a case last week.
That's right. Then they can pick it up today.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I need to put it up there on the set.
I'll do that in the next break. Should we just do? We're going to do this again, but should I do favorite Super Bowl food? Or are we're too far out?
Yeah, hold off.
Okay.
We got to get through conference championships.
Because I got this right here. Top 10 Super Bowl snacks already.
Already.
This is according to Instacart. I've never been on Instacart. Have you? Okay. Is that where you order food and you go pick it up or something? Okay. Anyway,
I have no clue.
this is what I got on morning prep.
Nice.
Okay. So top 10 Super Bowl snacks include scallions, which
Huh? That's false.
I guess scallions are you put a few on your buffalo chicken dip.
That's not happening.
I mean, we go through this every year. I'm not a big buffalo chicken dip guy. Although Big E's in Starkville does a really good buffalo chicken dip, which is not something I usually eat, but Big E's Steakhouse in Starkville can nail it. But
You ever seen a scallion at a Super Bowl party?
yeah,
No.
yeah, they have them. Yes,
Maybe like 1 out of 10. 1 in every 30 probably have scallions.
All right. So what do you want? Top 10 popular Super Bowl snack purchases.
Hit me.
You know what number 1 is?
Chips?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's number 1 and 2.
Yeah, it should be.
1 is tortilla chips.
Shut up.
2 is potato chips.
That's pretty funny.
Now, I'll eat Ruffles at the Super Bowl. There's a couple places. When I go to the Briar Patch and I get a cheeseburger, which I did last Saturday, I have to get it with, you can either pick Ruffles or potato salad. Do you want to know which one I pick?
I knew you were going to go Ruffles.
Yeah. Because there's something about Ruffles with a phenomenal cheeseburger at a local restaurant, wherever you are. There's just something about it. And then Brian knows I pair it with the Budweiser.
Well,
Because that's the way to do it.
do.
Right? So 1 is tortilla chips. 2 is, if you think of something we can ask on the Jake Mangum baseball, let me know.
I mean,
All right, 2 is potato chips. Would you want to know what 3 is?
beer doesn't
These
count,
are
right?
top 10.
Snacks.
Hold on. Super Bowl snacks. Remember snacks. So you got the first one. Tortilla chips is 1. Potato. I love Ruffles during the Super Bowl, and give me some. Wendy always makes Lake Cavalier Rotel, but there's this other chip she buys that's real thin but good, and it can handle the Rotel. All right, so what's number 3? You got tortilla chips 1, potato chips 2.
Yep, of some sort.
You're in the right zip code.
Okay.
Think of something that people eat around here religiously.
Rotel.
Close.
Ooh. Queso. I mean, I thought queso would be up there.
You're in the ranch dressing.
Oh, yeah.
Is number 3.
Yeah, I can't believe ranch at number 1, but chips, yeah.
Well, you got to
obviously.
go chips.
Yeah, chips, yeah.
There's like baskets, I mean, whatever, little bowls of chips always out
Everywhere.
at Super Bowl get together, which there should be.
Yeah. I love how
I mean, there's nothing better than chips and dip in sports.
That's kind of hand in hand.
Okay. All right. You were in the right zip code. You want to go with number 4?
Is pizza rolls coming in anywhere around here?
No,
Okay.
remember those could be snacks.
Yeah,
but
cocktail weenies.
Salsa.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I feel like chips and salsa should be combined.
Fair enough.
Or I'm sorry.
Your queso is number 9. I mean, that's still high.
Oh, that's high. I mean, I'm just
considering all the things you can buy.
Yeah.
That's still
and
high.
Scallions is on this list.
Number 7 here. Hold on.
Hey.
Number 7, scallions. Most people are not nervously devouring handfuls of scallions while watching football. So this and the tomatoes are people making their own sauces and dips.
Oh. Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay, it's not straight scallions, which
No.
I love, but I love those.
Okay.
I do like straight scallions.
Number 9 is queso. I think it should be higher.
I think it should be way higher.
And then number 10 is something that we have fun with every year because I don't like it. French onion dip. I'm running from it.
Yeah, I ate myself out of
I'm
that.
in a no French onion dip zone.
Nah, doesn't travel.
I'm in a no mayo zone. And what else was it?
A lot of similarities.
French onion dip,
Oh,
mayo.
that's one
What people were giving me a hard time about something recently.
Oh, man.
No mayo zone. No French dip zone.
Never say never, but never.
I'll say never on French onion dip. How
Never
about-
say never, but never.
I'm with Mike Tomlin. Okay. All right. So, yeah, there we go. What?
The band, we just got some text on the Bandits.
All right, talk to me.
Well, one, Robert Texas, he had 2 of his son's birthday parties that were at the Bandits. That's pretty tight. They did a little Bandits deal. I remember we did something like that. It wasn't for my birthday. It may have been somebody's birthday, but we went out there and had crawfish bowl with the team or whatnot
Okay.
when I was young. And then got a guy bragging on the Bandits logo. It's one of the best logos out of Mississippi ever.
It is.
I mean, it's up there with them over us.
Well, I'm not blaming like the people that were.
Did they?
I'm just saying at that time, 26, 27 years ago,
How are you not serving?
you couldn't serve beer.
That's crazy.
Right. So there was no way they were going to make it. I mean, I'm sorry. It is
No.
what it is. I don't want you to go out and drink multiple beers, but to go get a beer with some nachos or a hot dog,
I mean, hockey's
that's what you do at minor league baseball and minor league hockey. Let's not kid ourselves.
No.
Now, all the kids' promotions and all that is amazing and fun, and you win different stuff and blah, blah, blah. So
How much do you think Jackson Bandit's salaries?
back then, I think,
20?
I don't know if it was that high.
Yeah, I don't
15 to 18,000, maybe, because it was seasonal.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm
It had to
thinking
be,
maybe
right?
they made 1,000 a month for maybe 15. Let me think that through. Maybe they did. Maybe you're close. Maybe 1,500 a month. I don't even know if it was that much.
That seems like a lot.
1,500 a month, 27 years ago for 6 months. I don't know. I'm
That's not
trying to think
grand.
that through.
That's not grand.
Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, I do want to let you know that Mudbugs 042 is opening today. West Government Street in Brandon. Crawfish, shrimp, cold beer, Key City, Michelob Ultra, Budweiser. Mudbugs 042 West Government Street, opening today. It is on till like June 15th, give or take. One of the best times of the year. Basketball, March Madness, college baseball, and Mudbugs. Mudbugs. Best crawfish. The shrimp is amazing. Nachos. They're pulled pork. Oh, fabulous. Mudbugs, West Government Street, Brandon. Open for the biz starting today. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training Facility on Lakeland Drive behind Ergon and Mirror Lake. That's where Jake Mangum works out, Connor Griffin, JT Ginn. They have monthly memberships, all kinds of classes that they offer. And then for your travel softball or baseball team, among other sports, they have indoor turf, indoor batting cages, indoor pitching mounds. Grit on Lakeland Drive. Mention the Out of Bounds Show. Grit on Lakeland Drive in Flowood behind Mirror Lake and Ergon. All right. We're 105.9 The Zone, ESPN.
Anybody else got any questions about any college jobs? There's not a booster with a big enough blank check.
Lane Kiffin flew to Atlanta, Georgia last night, as Oregon was also with Jordan Seaton. And Lane has done this within the last few weeks with Sam Leavitt, the quarterback that he got. And so instead of leaving anything to chance, he followed and continued to recruit, which is what you have to do to get the big dogs. And Lane Kiffin flew to Knoxville, Tennessee, while he was on a visit with Josh Heupel to continue to meet with Sam Leavitt, the quarterback from Arizona State, who will compete for the starting QB position at LSU. Walker Howard is back at Ole Miss. He was at Lafayette and playing well, but he got hurt. And, of course, his dad, y'all know all about Jamie, who played at LSU. Walker Howard and Lane got sideways. There's all kinds of rumors on that. I'll let you go with whatever you want. Those rumors were not getting out when Lane was the head football coach at Ole Miss, but now they are. But Walker Howard is going back to Ole Miss, but Trinidad, his whatever injunction in the state of Mississippi to get another year is in front of an Ole Miss judge. Now, there'll still be some other hoops, but you would think you win that, then it goes on to the next stage or spot. As far as Trinidad coming back, and then I guess Walker Howard being the backup, because Trinidad would be one of the best returning quarterbacks if not the best, in the country. He won't have Lane Kiffin as his head coach or Lane Kiffin as his play caller, so he may not be like super great because of that around him, but he's going to be good regardless because he can run it, he can throw it, he's got poise, he's got moxie. He plays like the ultimate, Isaiah Thomas 1981 point guard. Smart, cerebral, and knows where to take the team and the offense and so on. Now, this is Lane Kiffin. And our audio this morning is brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training Facility on Lakeland Drive. This is Lane Kiffin on the 2026 expectations for LSU football.
Oh, geez. I know what your expectation is. I'm not talking about expectations. We're just trying to do the best we can today, sign the best players, then get them in here, and then unrecruit them, because right now they're in recruiting mode, and so they think things are going to be a certain way, and get them in here and get them to buy in. And that's just like you guys in your business. You can put together this great talent, and these guys can come with these great resumes, but you got a lot of work to do when you get them. These guys come from all over the country, and it's different than the old ways. Before they were high school kids. Now they're college kids. They've already been wired certain ways. They've already been taught certain things at all these different programs by different coaches. So we have to kind of, rewire the way that they think. And we got to get them to buy into something that's really hard with what they make, because so much is individual based right now. And we have to get them to buy into understanding, like, to put things aside for the betterment of the team. That is probably the biggest challenge. And everybody will see, like, these teams do really well. They portal teams, they put together these players. And then the really good stories, like in the playoffs, and Ole Miss was one, almost all those offensive players came from different places. None of them came from Mississippi. And we had to bring them together and get them to buy into that. Well, that's a big challenge, and it doesn't always work. You just see the ones that work a lot. But there's plenty of schools over the last few years that haven't worked. No different than in the NBA. NBA team puts together a really good roster that's supposed to be so great, preseason rankings, and then they don't play that well together. So that's probably our number one challenge.
I love the NBA analogy from Lane Kiffin. Do you notice, again, I talked about earlier how he had this really started, he hit his stride probably 3 years ago in Oxford as far as the media and being not only being comfortable, but like loving it.
Yeah.
Loving being in press conferences, getting his message out, both on where he thought college football was going and selling Ole Miss, now LSU. And he's who knew that the introvert who doesn't want to go to the country club and chew the fat, okay, doesn't want to go to the square, doesn't want to go down to Chimes, doesn't want to go down to the Renaissance, doesn't want to chew the fat with you, me, or anybody else. But who knew that he would become the best salesman in college football? Steve Jobs was the best salesman in the 2000s in business. Even he had already become a multi-billionaire. Yet Jobs made sure to sell every single one of the Apple products and make you think that you couldn't live without it, without getting it before nighttime fell. Lane Kiffin has become the greatest salesman in the history. I mean, Barry Switzer, bootlegger salesman, unbelievable. Ed Ogeron. Mario Cristobal right now is right on, but he's still not Lane in a press conference or on Twitter. Now, Nick was more of a hardcore IBM out of World War II, Xerox, which works. Those models were fantastic. Dale Carnegie, okay? Lane is kind of more Steve Jobs. Either one works, just different eras, different times. Lane's using the platforms to do stuff where he can get a residual impact and effect even after he's done with that tweet or that press conference. Saban couldn't do that because it's just a different time, and that's not how Saban is. Saban's not on Twitter. Hell, no. Kirby's not on Twitter.
No.
Now you got Kurt Signetti at 64 years old tweeting last night. Quote, tweeting a tweet and tweeting.
How about that?
You got young coaches around the country who aren't even using Twitter, which is unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. Lane's the greatest. Now, Pete Carroll, incredible salesman. Incredible. Charismatic. Pete Carroll walks in and just charisma drips from him. From his arms, his cheeks, from his legs. When you go and get an unbelievable workout or you go get in the sauna at Core Wellness and Recovery, and sweat's it's great. Sweat's just dripping off of you. That's Pete Carroll. Who knew that Lane Kiffin was just going to be loaded with charisma? My God, he's a combination of Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama, two of the greatest retail politicians in the history of this country. Yeah. What has gotten into this guy?
You're witnessing what is going to be the GOAT.
What about the metamorphosis of, there's got, the thing last year on Lane and Love and I, that kind of ended once he went to LSU. But I get why people got hot and bothered about it. Now you're going to have this is insane. Is he a good dude? No. But he is operating at this insane level.
No, you're seeing the GOAT making right here.
Yeah.
The end of it, he's going to end up being the GOAT.
He said you have to unrecruit them. Then you have to have buy-in. Then you have to rewire them mentally. And then you have to have more buy-in. And his strength and conditioning coach, former Dan Mullen strength and conditioning coach. And Dan ran a hell of an S&C program. Look at all those players that went on to play in the NFL. Never seen anything like it in the state of Mississippi. Now, Ole Miss may trumpet during this era, starting with last year's draft and going into this year's. But what Mullen did over a 6-7 year period, insanity. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. We'll tell you how you can win the Jake Mangum baseball on the other side. Yep, I know.
We ain't going nowhere.
Well, I don't know.
We ain't going nowhere.
That's what Ole Miss is saying in football.
We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Yep.
A guy named Sliced Bread.
That's the guy that's on the plane with Lane Kiffin. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Mudbugs, West Government Street, Brandon, open today. The party has started. The best crawfish in the state of Mississippi. Yes, they have Key City beer on tap, Michelob Ultra, all kinds of good stuff. Mudbugs, hey, it's so good. Crawfish, shrimp, their nachos are amazing. Their wings. Hell, I've had their burger. Mudbugs. 042 West Government Street in Brandon. They are open for the biz as we get ready to have a fun college basketball, March Madness, and college baseball season, but we never stop talking football. Coming up in 5 minutes, Mick Gillespie, Bama Tailgate Show, number one show, post-game, state of Alabama. He's got his Chicago Cubs show. He lives in Fairhope. You've heard him on the show. He's part of the Pearl River Resort media team. Mick Gillespie, who is an absolute trip, too. I wish y'all could all hang out with him. The guy's an idiot in a good way. Mick Gillespie will join us in 5 minutes. Alabama people are freaking out as to if this is going to work with Kalen DeBoer. I mean, they made the college football playoff. Yeah. They went and beat Oklahoma. They were down 17. They came back and won. That pick six didn't hurt, you know. And Oklahoma had embarrassed them, like a month or so before? And then they got embarrassed by Indiana. And that just doesn't sit well. I mean, even though we're fascinated with Indiana and we've said Indiana more than ever, and the Hoosiers and Kurt Signetti and Fernando Mendoza, which is a super cool name, and his parents, what a great story. His sweet, cute mom, she's got MS. That's why she was in the wheelchair and doesn't get up during the games, but she was cheering like crazy. Their hug and embrace and words after the national championship game was beautiful. But even with all that, Bama fans look at that and go, no, they're Indiana. They're not us. We just ripped off a ton of national championships with Saban. We grabbed one with Gene Stallings, and we grabbed 6 with Bear Bryant. And we're Bama. And we care about it. Now, did you notice how any fan base can get on board in a heartbeat, regardless of sport? Football, basketball, baseball. Right? And Indiana with over 800,000 living alums. I bet they raised $60 million in 24 hours for the portal. Oh. Seriously. I mean, they could raise $600 million, just like damn near any schools could. But I bet they raised $60 million in 24 hours. I mean, think about all those alums that were happy at wherever their homes are, especially men over 50, 55, 60 who have been able to build great wealth, but some over 30 and 40. And think about all of them there. And Ole Miss fans just went through this. There's nothing better, and Mississippi State's been through this, and Auburn. There's nothing better when you're marching towards postseason, SEC championship, whatever it is, the hotel lobby, the hotel bar the next day after you've won a big game. Indiana, it was teed up. You want to give $250,000? Yeah. You want to give $1 million? Yeah. You want to get people are knocking over the athletic director to give money. That's where they are now. Okay?
Anybody else got any questions about any college jobs? There's not a booster with a big enough blank check.
I don't know. Indiana may have it. Over 800,000 living alums. How many more people do you think have given to their collective? In the last week, month, 4 or 5 months? You know, Mark Cuban is the lead dog right now, but I'm sure there's somebody that can trump him. He loves the camera and new media, so give him credit. And he's an Indiana alum, is my point. I think he's from Pittsburgh, but an Indiana alum.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Bama insider Mick Gillespie will join us here in just a second. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The show is brought to you by the Gumbo, the Wings, and the Po' Boys at Martin's in Livingston and Martin's downtown. Martins and Livingston is the place for game day this weekend. College hoops, NFC, AFC championship game. Of course, they got the blue plates every day. Bars, beautiful. Martins and Livingston. Lunch today or game day in a few days. All at Martins and Livingston. This is 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We welcome in Roll Tide, Bama Insider, Mick Gillespie, Bama Tailgate Show, number one post-game show in the state of Alabama. He's got 14 other shows, including his Chicago Cubs show. He's bringing it from Fairhope, Alabama this morning. Mick Gillespie, good morning. Are you at the Floribama having a what is their drink of choice? Bushwhacker.
Well, it'd be a Bloody Mary at this point, but it's a privilege to talk to the guy in the Pearl River commercial. You're fantastic in that.
Thank you. How much fun did we have shooting that commercial over 2 days?
There's a lot goes into it. We had a great time. I realized how fat I was. I'm going to tell you, I've worked out incessantly since. I mean, it's been the best motivation because you and I jumped up to do a high five, and it's only in the 30-second version. And there's a little muffin top action for me. So it's been walking, running, and working out ever since. So
good for you, man. Are you being serious,
Yeah.
or are you messing with me?
No, I'm dead serious. No,
Okay.
I'm dead serious. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think I've missed maybe one day in the gym since I saw that because I was like, whoa. They say the camera puts on 10 pounds.
Right.
And I just think that I had a lot of weight on me, it's just, but you don't see it until you're kind of looking at yourself. You did great though. You, Steve Azar, and Jake Coker's he's perfect for commercials.
He is.
I mean, big, tall. He's got the smile. He looks like he's like the all-American guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun time. What was great for you and I is we didn't have to do but about 20% of what Azar and Coker did. So you and I could do our quick hits during the day on cutting the new Pearl River Resort commercials. And then you and I could go get drinks at Mom and M's. Wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it really was. And it's like you're over there and you're having a really good time. And then, we would just kind of, a lot of times you'd go to different places where they were shooting and it would just be food laid out everywhere,
Yeah.
So that made it even better.
Mick Gillespie, Roll Tide Insider, Fairhope, Alabama. He's in Tuscaloosa all the time. He and Jake Coker doing a million shows a year. They're all right. So Alabama football. How concerned are people after y'all got blown out by Indiana in the college football playoff? I know DeBoer's a good coach, but I know that people are wondering if this is going to work. Where are you and where are the listeners as far as the concern level right now?
Pretty concerned because we all realize that Kurt Signetti needs to be our coach because that's Alabama football, what I saw.
Yeah.
Just don't miss a tackle, run the football straight ahead. I think people really got fed up with the fact that Alabama couldn't run the ball. Had no real incentive to even try and do it. We're playing in that game. We go for it on fourth down and run a sweep play on a 1 yard, so they're supposed to just be able to run 1 yard or punt the ball. Indiana was, they're a great team, really. I totally underestimated them. But I think Alabama fans are concerned about that. And also we got destroyed in the transfer portal. And it's a problem that the entire SEC is dealing with right now. Because you go and you take these guys out of high school and you develop them, and then they walk away and you don't get anything as an institution. They have to have a posting system where you pay when you take players away. But we lost two of our best defensive guys to Ohio State. That's concerning to me. I think a lot of Alabama fans, I think people like Kalen DeBoer, but Greg Byrne hiring a guy that it just doesn't look like Alabama football. When you're -3 rushing yards in the SEC championship game, it's like Kalen DeBoer is probably a lot easier to deal with on a personal level than Nick Saban or, one of the Saban disciples. because Kalen's a great guy. But I'll tell you what, it's this next year is a do or die year. Probably more for Greg Byrne than it is for Kalen DeBoer. But the way that Alabama lost the 2 of the last 3 games, it's not going to cut it.
How does your co-host is Jake Coker? We're visiting with Mick Gillespie, Bama Tailgate Show. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Mick is tied in with Pearl River Resort, which is awesome. That's how we got to know each other and cultivated our relationship. Super fun working with these guys. What is, as a former national championship quarterback who played under Saban and Kiffin and others, what does Coker say about what you just framed up? Is he frustrated?
Yeah. We did a show a couple of days ago, Monday. It's called Last Call. It's on the Next Round platform. And at one point, I'm like, I don't know that I've ever heard him that. It wasn't negative, but that direct about the direction of things. He thought that, one of the things he said was that our identity is being soft. Now, you know him, 6'5", played quarterback 2015. His MO was, if you have single digits, I'm going to run you over. Like, that's what he did. So if he's running the football and you're not one of those big guys at the line, he's famous for trucking you. Like, he is a tough dude. And when you run into former players that didn't play on the team with them, because the guys that played with them loved them, they say, hey, man, if we could have played with a quarterback, we would have played with you, especially defensive guys, because they loved that physicality that he brought. For him to say something like that, to me, it's concerning for where this program is. It's hard these days with the NIL money. We had a player, and I don't want to say who it was, but he transferred, got a big NIL deal, and then went MIA. It's like, where's this guy at? The coaches off the record were like, we don't even see him anymore. You're dealing with this. It's the Wild West. Guys get money, and then all of a sudden it's like you've got your fingers crossed that they're actually going to live up to it. One thing that he said, or actually Mike Johnson said this yesterday on the Bama Tailgate channel. He played football when Curt Cignetti was an assistant at Alabama. He was there for the whole thing.
Oh.
And he was like, I never expected Curt Cignetti to be the guy, right? But we all kind of feel like that. After watching what he's done now, he's the guy. Okay, he's the Saban. He's the next Saban to us. And it's like he said, but he thought with the NIL era we weren't going to have discipline anymore, accountability, all of that stuff. He's like, Curt Cignetti found a way to do it.
Right. And Lane.
There's no accountability at Alabama right now, and that's a problem.
Okay, what about the Cam Coleman thing? Like, how much did that rock Alabama fans, or maybe you and Coker? So, big-time wide receiver out of Auburn. You hired Derek Nix, who was the OC wide receivers coach at Auburn. He's now at Bama. He visited Alabama. Y'all thought you were going to get him, and then he goes to Texas and commits and signs. How did that – what was the reaction Mick?
The reaction was, from what I understand, like they doubled the amount of money we were going to give them. And that's just the way that this world works now. And anybody, look, anybody that has a job, you're going to take a job for more money. I don't think that it was that he didn't want to play at Alabama, but those Texas schools got a lot more money than the rest of us. And there's no stopping the amount of money that they're going to spend on these college football teams. I don't think that one, people were disappointed. The one to me that was the real kick in the groin was Hollywood Smothers. And who even cares about Hollywood Smothers? But he comes from NC State and commits to Alabama and then goes to Texas. He commits from us and goes and signs to Texas. It's just like what are we doing? That was the one that I'm like, what a slap in the face.
Mick Gillespie, Bama Insider on the Out of Bounds show. So do you think he gets, bottom line, can he get this thing? First of all, can Alabama get you have the money. It's just a matter, because you've been paying players under the table at a high level for decades.
I don't know about that. Everybody was doing that.
Yeah, but y'all were one of the best. Even Bear Bryant said it. I mean, and so what's the difference? I mean, why y'all have got plenty of wealthy alums who are committed and driven. I mean, do you think that if I feel like y'all have lost your identity, do you think you can find it back and that DeBoer can figure this thing out, like Lane and Signetti and Texas Tech and some of the other teams?
I don't know that. Well, I mean, you talk about like wealthy alumni. I mean, we don't have the billionaires at Alabama. Now we have an army of fans. And I think they're the best fan base in college football. I absolutely love. I talk to them all the time. I'm one of them. They're great.
Right.
But they're going to have to figure out a way to get the. You know, did you ever watch that movie? It's one of the all-time classics, The Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Okay, you remember at the end of the movie, like it was Amigo. They were like, what we're gonna do to beat El Guapo is we're going to be amigos. And that's where, like, everybody dressed up like they were an amigo, and they're all popping up shooting and stuff. But that's what Bama's going to have to do that. They're going to have to just get their fan base behind the NIL thing and get people to donate that way. That's how they could really get Ohio State and Texas type money. But I don't know. I don't know how. Honestly, man,
if LSU can do it, and Ole Miss can do it, and some of these other, I mean, y'all have got plenty of 100 millionaires or people worth 25 to 50 million, and then you got all the people who make $200,000 to $800,000. That's where Ole Miss is piped. I mean, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, and you've got some others. It takes work, and a lot of athletic departments just want to stay inside their building all day and meet about stuff that doesn't matter. But I mean, Ole Miss has tapped into that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guys that, and you can move this goalpost either way, Mick Gillespie, but people who make $200,000 to $800,000 who are willing to give $5,000 to $50,000 a year, then if you have 600 guys in that spot, you can do the math. So it's not about money. It's about figuring out how to get the organizational structure in place at U of A, because you've got the commitment quotient. Y'all been bat blank crazy since Bear Bryant got there in 1958. This is fascinating to me. So are y'all going to run it back with Kane Womack as the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think they're going to get rid of anybody else on the staff. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think like that there's a part of the fan base that we're spoiled. I mean, we've won a lot of games without having to spend any money, you know. And it's like you look at Ole Miss, and this was the best year they've had since the '50s, you know. I mean,
right?
And people were like, "Hey, we want to pay for that," you know. In Texas, I mean, there've been a lot of teams that have been decent, but you know they haven't won a championship since the Longhorns did, you know, and that's been a long time now, right? So I don't know, man. I mean, like I think what's going to have to happen, unfortunately, is that Bama's going to have some seasons that aren't great, and you're right. Like get people motivated to give, because but the whole structure to me makes no sense, right? Like we have the fifth largest stadium in the world, right? We sell it out every single game, and the money goes to like women's basketball and track. I mean, like what are we doing?
Well, the model, you know, I get what you're saying. So out of the, I don't know how many sports Bama has, but only one of your sports makes money, maybe two, basketball, a little bit. But no, you're right. I mean, the model, if you have 20, let's just make round numbers. If you have 20 sports, 19 lose money. But that's
right.
That's the way it is. That's
right. And then like everybody, all these administrators are paid and, you know, and this and that. I mean, you can't even go to a game and get a drink and a pretzel in a timely fashion. You know, it's like if they ran the business model doesn't work, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. And then on top of that, if they ran the, you know, like the place like a business, you know, they could figure out how to make money there. You can keep an eye on Tennessee because they're going to do it the right way. I know that you probably heard about this, but they're building a business district around Neyland Stadium.
I saw that.
And then they're going to use part of that for NIL.
Smart.
Alabama better be watching closely because that to me makes a lot of sense. You know, when you get 200,000 people that show up to your games, instead of having them spend all their money out in some field, get them to come to the stadium and spend it, and then, you know, be able to siphon some of that back to the players. But I mean, to think about how much money is each game is, and that we got to go out and beg people that are just fans to pay for this. It doesn't make sense to me, man. Like, I don't know how. I honestly, I don't know how long it's going to take before we just admit that this is pro sports and you know, and take the money that people are paying to watch the athletes play like they do in the NFL and just pay the players off of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to continue to evolve and change. I can't wait to see where it goes. Who's your quarter? Real quick, I got a minute or go ahead.
Well, I want to tell you this. That if I was a State fan and I saw what Indiana just did, man, I'd be excited. I mean, who in the world would have thought Indiana would go 16-0 and run the table like that? And let me tell you something. They smashed teams like us. They killed us.
Yeah.
Like, it shows you that if you have the right coach and with the way that things are right now, you know, you can beat those teams with a lot of money if you're really smart. Like, Vanderbilt's another one of these teams that has kind of figured out like a place in this new world of college football, and it's made them super competitive. So, you know, if I'm State, I'm looking at this going, man, you know, we see what Ole Miss can do. We got a great stadium. We got awesome fans. You know, when Mike, can you imagine what Mike Leach could have done in this system? You know, so I mean, I would think for, you know, and look, we've been riding a dynasty in Tuscaloosa for a long time, not anymore, but we have. If I was like at a place like, you know, I transferred from Maryland that never won anything, you know, like I'm looking at it and going, man, there's hope for us now with this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have the right coach, strength and conditioning program, development. You know, there's so much going on here. But you're right. Kurt Signetti, Lane Kiffin, and Marcus Freeman and even Vanderbilt and some others have figured it out. Hey, we appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good week, my man.
Shout out to Jackson. See you, brother.
All right, buddy. Mick Gillespie, Bama Insider, in Fairhope, Alabama today. But he may be in the Floribama later. Was it the Bushwhacker you said? Yeah. I need to get to the floor. I mean, I don't know if I want to go in 30-degree weather, but, I mean, at least get over 50, and then I'll be good. Some fried pickles and a cold beer. Mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock. Floribama, that's my time. Out of there by 5 before the crazies get there at 10. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The show is brought to you by Southern Ag Credit in Ridgeland. Financing life outside the city limits. SouthernAgCredit.com.
Say, kids, what time is it? It's 9 a.m., and this ain't no kiddie show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. All aboard! As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
All right, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app and thezone1059.com. Thezone1059.com. And I guess I haven't looked at an update. Well, I've been kind of looking for it, but Jordan Seaton, the offensive tackle out of Colorado, down to LSU, Oregon, Mississippi State. Lane Kiffin flies to Atlanta last night, I think, to continue the hot and heavy recruitment of the offensive tackle. That's what you do. He did the same thing. He's at LSU, and he understands that that's what you have to do. He flew to Knoxville, Tennessee, while Sam Levitt was on his recruiting visit. And, continue to recruit him. There are no rules anymore, although some teams make them up. Lane understands. Ole Miss understood early, A&M early, Missouri, Texas Tech, some others, that there are no rules.
Ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, and nobody's going on probation.
Nah.
So, or getting in trouble of any.
Nah, just take them to court.
Look at you getting Sue happy.
I mean, what? Everyone else is. Duke is.
Duke is taking their quarterback, is, I guess, looking for some compensation, saying that he was in a contract, broke it, and now going to Miami.
This is a precedent-setting case, though. This has impact for sure, right?
Amen.
It's the first one of it, and if they are legally allowed to block it, think about how many people have NIL deals that they break.
Walter Nolan?
Everybody.
I mean, this has happened many a times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's already happened. I don't know why it's.
Why no one's out of court?
Didn't LSU had to pay Ole Miss $600,000 worth of compensation because they already had Prince Will maybe under a contract? Daugherty went to LSU. Evidently, he didn't have a contract. John Summerall called Daugherty the, I guess, most cerebral pre-snap player he had seen in college football.
What a compliment.
Ole Miss linebacker. Summerall faced him twice this year, got smoked twice, once in the regular season, once in the, granted, they're Tulane, but once in the postseason. No, once in the regular season, once in the postseason. All right, I messed up on the Jake Mangum thing. I got it now, giving away this baseball, but hold on. Let me give the Golden Moon Casino text line, because that's how you're going to enter to possibly win. 601-885-3776. Find us on X at Bo Bounds. Again, the text line, 601-885-3776. If you'd like to enter to win a Jake Mangum signed baseball, who's now with the Pittsburgh Pirates after having a fantastic year with the Tampa Bay Rays, enter on the text line, 601-885-3776. And here it is. We want to know, on the Out of Bounds roll call, how are you listening to the show? 105.9 The Zone or streaming? Where are you listening from? Where are you listening from? And then the question, what's one Jake Mangum move? His cannon arm, dirt diving hustle, ice vein, ice water in his veins, that you would hijack for your life grind. Right? Like in your life, work. Think about all the intangibles that Jake Mangum has. What's the one move or intangible that you would want to incorporate more into your life. And that's how you enter, and you could win a sign. And we have the little case too.
Yeah,
so it'll stay fresh, clean, and nice. How about that?
Fresh, clean, and nice.
God, we're already on the board a couple of times.
Love that.
Bo, radio, Jackson, slap shot through the 5-hole. Yeah. I mean, Mangum knows, he knows how to hit. And he can hit, he can take the ball opposite field.
From both sides of the plate.
From both sides of the plate. Switch hitter. He talked about that on the show a couple of years, year and a half, 2 years ago, about like 11 years old is when they started. And one of the hardest things can you imagine? I mean, and he said it was hard. Like 12 years old, he and his dad started the whole switch hitting thing. And what a grind it was. Now pays off. Makes the Tampa Bay Rays. Has a really, really, really awesome year. And now he's with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He'll be competing for left field. But they know they can play him in center and so on. That's what's so good about him. Yep. He was great in the field. Made some unbelievable plays. So the text line is 601-885-3776, and you can enter to possibly win a Jake Mangum signed baseball. I didn't do that. Been focused on some other things. Okay. We've got this audio that I want to drop, Jackson. All right. I want to go back to Lane on expectations. All right. Kiffin people are going crazy down in Baton Rouge because of the success he had at LSU. Ole Miss drove them to the college football playoffs. And then now that he's got the number one portal class, but we'll see how that ends. It doesn't matter if it's one or two. Ole Miss has a phenomenal class. LSU does too. And so do several other teams in that mix. But this is Lane on expectations in Baton Rouge.
Oh, geez. I know what your expectation is. I'm not talking about expectations. We're just trying to do the best we can today, sign the best players, then get them in here, and then unrecruit them, because right now they're in recruiting mode, and so they think things are going to be a certain way, and get them in here and get them to buy in. And that's just like you guys in your business. You can put together this great talent, and these guys can come with these great resumes, but you got a lot of work to do when you get them. These guys come from all over the country, and it's different than the old ways. Before they were high school kids. Now they're college kids. They've already been wired a certain way. They've already been taught certain things at all these different programs by different coaches. So we have to kind of, rewire the way that they think. And we got to get them to buy into something that's really hard with what they make, because so much is individual based right now. And we have to get them to buy into understanding, like, to put things aside for the betterment of the team. That is probably the biggest challenge. And everybody will see, like, these teams do really well. They portal teams, they put together these players. And then the really good stories, like in the playoffs, and Ole Miss was one, almost all those offensive players came from different places. None of them came from Mississippi. Yeah. And we had to bring them together and get them to buy into that. Well, that's a big challenge, and it doesn't always work. You just see the ones that work a lot. But there's plenty of schools over the last few years that haven't worked. No different than in the NBA. NBA team puts together a really good roster that's supposed to be so great, preseason rankings, and then they don't play that well together. So that's probably our number one challenge.
Lane Kiffin, he talks about buy-in, and I think we just throw it out, but you don't get that in your business. You don't just automatically. I hope you work for a business that you have that kind of buy-in, your community, your church, your school, your family. Easier said than done, and I thought he walked us through it really well. He's getting to the point where he has become a really good storyteller. And Steve Jobs, arguably the best storyteller of all time. He understood it. Look at Pixar. And his Apple products too. Bill Clinton, great storyteller. Those that can hook you. Ronald Reagan. I was watching he's popped up on my YouTube. Who knew that Lane Kiffin would become an unbelievable storyteller, but they get that they have to bring them in, buy in, unrecruit them. We're going to talk grit, fitness, and training coming up next. All right, we have a special guest in studio, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. One of the owners of Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive in Flowood, right behind Ergon Mirror Lake. Mandy Linsky, she's joined us before, and she keeps us entertained. And you want to feel better, you want to work out, you want to be active, and you want to go tour Grit this week and let them show you all the cool things that they're doing. Mandy, good morning. Did you do the 5 a.m. workout this morning?
I did.
Okay, and what do y'all call it?
We call it sweat class.
I love that. All right, sweat class. I got to remember that. All right, sweat class.
It stands for something, and most people don't even know that. It stands for Start Winning Every Day and Train.
Okay. I'm going to get you a little closer. Okay, go over that again. What does it stand for?
Start winning every day and train.
I like that. Sweat class. 5 a.m. Was Tally Noah there?
Tally was there. And I had told him already to drink an extra cup of coffee. So he was ready to go. His truck was probably there before we opened our doors.
How does that? I owe him $300 from fantasy football.
He win it?
He either won it or came in second. I don't remember, but Scott splits it up where X amount pay the first place and X amount pay the second. I don't remember who I'm paying, but I need to send him some money. I'm only on PayPal. I'm not on Venmo, so it messes me up. Anyway, Mandy Linsky, Grit Fitness and Training. So the sweat class is the 5 a.m. class.
That class we have 3 times a day, so 5 a.m., noon, and 5:30 p.m.
Oh, that's great. All right, so for our listeners, go ahead and tour Grit the next week or two on Lakeland Drive in Flowood, and their sweat class is 5 a.m., noon, and 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned like 1 or 2 other specialized classes that y'all have rolling at
So
Grit.
we have several. So we have a ladies only class
Good.
that's at 9 a.m. 3 times a week. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we offer a TRX class as well, which is if y'all seen the straps that kind of people use suspended from the ceiling, that kind of, it helps you, I guess, be able to regulate how much body weight you're actually using. So it's a real low impact. It's an easy starter class. So we offer that class in the afternoons at 5 p.m. And it's just a 30-minute class. So it's a good intro class for people.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I could probably handle. Jackson may not, but I could. So we got the sweat class at Grit. We've got the ladies only 3 times a week.
3 times a week, BB class.
BB. Okay. At Grit. And then we have the TRX, which I really like this concept. Low impact starter, 30 minutes to kind of get you rolling for a few weeks. And then if you want to go do something else, you can do that. Mm-hmm. All right. So now is the time to get up, get out, and get rolling. Plus you have the indoor turf.
Right. So we also have our youth classes.
Okay, youth classes.
So our youth speed and agility is offered at 4:00 in the afternoon, which is for 12 and unders. And then for our junior high and high school, we're offering 2 different classes. On Monday, Wednesday, it's a strength class, and on Tuesday, Thursday, it's a speed class.
Okay.
And those are at 6:15 in the evenings.
Okay. So speed and strength classes, and then this youth class, speed and agility. Y'all got all kinds of things.
We do. And then, of course, we still have the pool. So if you're a swimmer or, pitching lessons, hitting lessons, soccer lessons, softball lessons,
so indoor turf, outdoor turf, indoor hitting the machines.
That's right.
And indoor pitching mounts.
That's correct.
And outdoor.
We have a mobile mound.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. This is exciting.
It is. It's a lot. It's a busy place. And we have basketball and volleyball going on too. So volleyball's in club season right now. So we've been having
that's
some of
serious.
the volleyball players come in and getting their work in. So it's been fun.
Did you say that you for your 5 a.m. sweat class at Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive, Mandy Linsky with us, y'all mic'd some people up?
We did. We did that this morning. It was a fun morning.
Any F-bombs?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I warned them. So hopefully not many. I told the videographer to send me the unedited version first because I really wanted to hear what everybody said.
I love that. How many mornings a week do you do the sweat class?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Right now I'm only making it to 2, maybe
That's still
3.
great.
So my daughter is training for a half marathon.
That's
her
awesome.
First half marathon. Yep, she's 14, so I'm real proud of her.
14.
And
What's her name?
Her name is Alyssa.
Alyssa, shout out to Alyssa, who is training for a half marathon at 14 years old. Go ahead.
So I'm running with her and doing some workouts with her on the other days. So I'm not up there as much as I usually am.
Okay, still 2 to 3 days a week of sweat class, I think is still freaking awesome.
Yeah, so that stands for something we ain't trying. I can tell you that.
I want to harp on this too. Youth classes, speed and agility. That's what parents are looking for.
That's right.
Okay, youth classes, speed and agility. Youth classes, speed and agility at Grit Fitness and Training.
You want to show us an example of that speed and agility, or are we going to opt out?
Should we get Manny to do push-ups in studio
I feel
on
like
the
we
cameras?
need something, man. Something. We need proof. We need proof that this is.
What if we brought a mat and she worked out for like 3 minutes on the camera?
I'm in.
Okay.
I want to say,
We'll do that
but the
next
speed
time.
and the agility. I'm thinking, like lay the rope, the ladder out. You know how they used to
fast my
chop
feet
them
are?
feet.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Chop them feet. You think you knew it?
I mean, I'm gonna have to work on that between now and then. I'm glad y'all are warning me a little bit.
Just be ready.
You have, you have a bunch of MLB players, but you have 2 Pittsburgh Pirates working out at Grit Fitness and Training, Connor Griffin and Jake Mangum.
Yes.
How cool is that?
It is really, it's so awesome. I love to watch. You see why they are at the level they're at. Like, they just come in and they put in the work. I remember it was Christmas Eve. We closed at noon on Christmas Eve, and Jake and his dad and one of our hitting instructors, Josh DeMoney, were in there hitting still. And I was like, all right, well, we're fixing to close. So y'all lock the door behind you.
Yeah. What are you going to do, kick them out?
No.
Right, no. I mean, but that's the kind of work ethic. And Connor's the same way. He is in there every morning. He's usually the first pro guy there. The other guys will come rolling in around 9:30, and he's going to be in there about 8:30. He'll
Wow.
get it done, and he'll shoot hoops for about 30 minutes to warm up.
Nice.
And then he goes in and lifts or hits. Yeah.
So
That's how we breed 'em, baby.
Connor Griffin and Jake Mangum are both with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jake, unsolicited, Jake did an endorsement for your place. I don't know if you
I
heard
love
that
them.
last week.
They are gold. They really are.
He said it on the air. He was like, look, it's where I work out. I'm not getting paid to say this.
Right.
This is where I like to work out.
He crushed
Connor Griffin, JT Ginn, Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive. So he gave you an endorsement last week.
Well, thanks, Jake. I appreciate it.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like 2
But
minutes long. It was good.
something else to think about. Instead of hunting or doing something else on Christmas Eve, what's Jake Mangum doing? He's working out at Grit Fitness and Training. That's the difference. I'll never forget several years ago when he was at Mississippi State, he was supposed to meet his parents for dinner, and I happened to be with them, and we were hanging out in the waiting area of the restaurant Tyler, and he called and he said, I got to go back to the batting cage. I didn't hit well enough today. That's his mentality.
Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, anything else? We're going to do this again monthly, and next time you'll work out for the cameras, which I'm sure she's going, holy hell, what did I just get in?
Right.
But
It's her fault.
is there any, all right, again, youth class, this is big. Youth classes, speed and agility youth classes at Grit Fitness and Training. So they cover elementary, junior high, and high school. They're just different depending on the age.
That's right. So
Okay.
in our high school speed and agility, our coach will not let you in the class unless you're 15 because it's
All right.
it's so specialized, and he wants to
like
be sure
that.
that he's got the older kids. And that is a class that we just started because we've had so many parents request
Sure.
high school, like footwork for football players and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Okay.
Well, I'm known for it.
So they've got specialized classes for elementary, junior high, and high school students, whether you're playing soccer, softball, football, baseball, basketball, or volleyball, or any number of sports. Mandy Linsky, Grit Fitness and Training. I didn't get to tell my story about Michael Berner and vasectomies. We'll do that next time you're on the show when you work out for us. Mandy Linsky, go and tour Grit Fitness and Training facility this week. Lakeland Drive, Flowood, behind Mirror Lake and Ergon. We'll be back in a second. Boom.
thanks.
All right.
But he couldn't catch a cold if he was naked in Russia in the wintertime.
Yeah, that's basically Jackson Meadows sports. That's his career.
But he couldn't catch a cold if he was naked in Russia in the wintertime.
Wow. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN.
He walked out on that field and it was like football Jesus had hit.
Jordan Seaton. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Thank you, Mandy Linsky with Grit Fitness and Training for hanging out with us. She's going to get Jackson Meadows in shape. He has agreed to do one of the, I guess, specialized classes at Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive behind Ergon Mirror Lake. And I want to let you know that Grit Fitness and Training in Flowood has youth classes, speed and agility youth classes. Very, very important, right? Powered by Grit Fitness and Training. They're also doing specialized classes for high school students, whether it's volleyball, soccer, tennis, baseball, basketball, but whatever. They have the specialized classes, whether your son or daughter's elementary, junior high, or high school. And specialized classes are the way to go. I love the TRX class, low impact starter, 30 minutes. That's what I'm talking about, Grit Fitness and Training. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I need to go over the Jake Mangum baseball giveaway again. I saw somebody was like, Bo, what are we doing on the text line? So the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. This is the out of bounds roll call to enter and possibly win a Jake Mangum signed baseball, which is on the set right now. You can see it. I've got it in the case. Okay. You can go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Here's the Out of Bounds roll call. How are you listening to the show? 105.9 The Zone or streaming? Where are you listening from? I love all the towns that I see in cities. Where are you listening from? And then what skill set or intangible would you want to incorporate more into your life? Business, personal. From Jake Mangum. Yeah, obviously. All right, what's one Jake Mangum move or intangible? And these are good that are, we've got hustle and grit and, running out. He runs as fast as he can to first base every time, which matters.
Yeah.
I know we all eye roll this stuff, but damn, hustling, effort, grit. Did it matter for Indiana? It did. And War Eagle Rich says discipline.
Yeah, that was going to be one of mine.
Well, when you're working out at Grit on Christmas Eve, when you could be hunting or doing this or doing that, that's what the Pittsburgh Pirates want. That's what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of goes back, I still push back, but kind of goes back to what Dave Bartu has said. There is no development. You develop yourself.
Yeah, true.
Now, the way he frames it up is a little extreme.
Right.
But I think it's 70 to 80 more, maybe 80+% you. Like Jake Mangum he's like, I'm going to work out. I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to be purpose driven. And then because of the access I have, I will leverage that because of my drive and because I'm intentional and because I'm purpose driven. And then the Pirates will put me with hitting instructors that will make me better, but I will want it so bad and I will show up so early and I will work as long as I have to be able to hit a slider that's moving at 97 miles per hour or whatever it is. Maybe that's what we're looking for.
We do have a first time of something that's happened for the first time on the show ever.
What?
I don't know. Well, to the roll call, we got a roll call. Somebody's checking in from the YouTube line.
Awesome. That's like bonus points.
Big, that's what I'm thinking.
YouTube, go. All right, again, our YouTube channel, we really need you to go and subscribe. We're trying to hit a number. Out of Bounds Sports is our YouTube channel. Out of Bounds Sports. Jackson, go ahead. What do we got?
No, they just text in, watching on YouTube from Columbus, Mississippi. Love to hijack Jake's work ethic.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
That would be the same. His focus, his grit, his will, determination, cerebral. I mean, he checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
So does Connor Griffin. So does Jackson Dart and many, many others that we get to watch and celebrate on TV and streaming. But, yeah, we're giving away a signed Jake Mangum baseball. And we're going to give away several. But I got to get him back in here and get one more case signed before he leaves. He's leaving here next week to go to wherever it is in South Florida where the Pittsburgh. Thank you. You never remember anything.
Anything.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It must be the fact that Mandy came in studio with Grit Fitness and Training.
Yeah.
And she's really awesome at what she does, and she's attractive. And I think that got you kind of actually focused this morning.
Is that or the True Brain?
We both took a shot of True Brain.
True Brain helps me remember things.
Yeah. So got to do that most every morning.
Got to.
Good. I want to drop the Andrew Luck audio. All right, so Andrew Luck played at Stanford with the Indianapolis Colts. He's now back at Stanford as basically a VP GM of the football program. He's pretty frustrated as to where they are, right? Mississippi State needs to be frustrated and driven, and they're doing some things. We'll see how good the portal class is. It looks to be a little bit better. Auburn's frustrated. Florida's frustrated. You get the deal. Stanford won because of Jim Harbaugh and players like Andrew Luck. And this is what he had to say. Speaking of what like Mandy and them do at Grit Fitness and Training, okay, Andrew Luck talks about how practices have to be competitive.
Jim Harbaugh and David Shaw at Stanford. I had amazing coaches in the NFL, and we practice those high-pressure situations all the time. I think there's a romantic notion I held growing up, that you rise to the occasion, you rise to these great moments. And I certainly think that's true. You watch great athletes, great folks doing things like they're going to show up. But I think something that is as much true as you settle to the level of your training. You settle to the level what your habits are, and that I really internalized that at Stanford with how we practiced. I mean, practice had a sense of urgency, had pressure. There were stakes at practice. I mean, it was competitive. If we wanted to go out and compete on game day, it wasn't a flip a switch and go. We learned to compete on the practice field. We learned to compete against each other. We learned the at least as a quarterback, I learned the physiological response. Can I control my breathing to call a play clearly, succinctly, with some level of positive affect to my teammates? So we have a collective belief we can go and get this fourth down or score a touchdown here. So I think practicing that and having some awareness of that this is what we're practicing for helped my growth, helped my career.
It sounds like awareness.
Jim Harbaugh, that was Andrew Luck.
That was great.
Jim Harbaugh did that.
Yes.
He drove that. As far as the competitive practice, Andrew Luck even talks about breathing.
Yeah.
Which is so important. It is. I think about like Jake Mangum and Connor Griffin at bat. You've got to be, it's already high intensity. You got somebody throwing between 97 and 100. They're throwing several different pitches. Some of it's so much off speed back down to 82. You may see a pitch at 82 here and then 98 the next pitch. You got to slow your heart rate. You got to be breathing the right way. You're going in and out of the box. Same thing with Andrew Luck going to the line of scrimmage pre-snap, Indianapolis Colts. What am I looking at against the Baltimore Ravens? And is my heart rate, my mind, and my breathing where I need to be to get everybody where they need to be, call the play, and have the ability to go through my progressions? I thought that was pretty awesome audio.
Yeah. He's just so smart.
He is.
He really is. He is very, very bright.
He's on a mission to get Stanford. And if anybody can, they've got the money.
Right. Yeah.
They just haven't committed it. Right. But Andrew Luck, former successful alum, BCS, Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, whatever they all did when
Heisman.
Harbaugh and Shaw. Did he win the Heisman?
Did he not?
I don't know. I can't remember that far back. I can't remember what I did 22 minutes ago. I mean, I know we just had Mandy Linsky on from Grit Fitness and Training, so that's about, I'm pretty good there. But I do realize as I get older, my bandwidth is what it is, so I need to focus on the right stuff. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, how about that?
Unnamed Texter, I love you. Our YouTube channel is Out of Bounds Sports. Anyway, wasn't that good? Andrew Luck, he's so articulate and razor focused on rebuilding this Stanford Cardinal football program, which now we realize, Stanford could win the national championship.
Yeah.
If they have the right people in place, if they get the money, they have the money, but if they get the money, there's a difference. Everybody in the SEC has the money to pay for a football team or a basketball team or a baseball team, and all three. But between rev share and your alums, will you raise it and commit it? Andrew Luck, now they're in the ACC. Weird. Them and Cal Berkeley, right? They're in the ACC, but Andrew Luck is like, we got to get this thing rolling at Stanford, right?
Hey, if there's one guy to get it rolling, that's who you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
general manager, vice president, whatever you want to call him, of the Stanford football program. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what they can get going. In fact, let me see where they are.
by the way, just to let you know real quick, he did not win the Heisman.
Okay.
RG3.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, even though Baylor went 9-3, he was able to. Usually you can't sustain 3 losses. Jaden Daniels and RG3 were able to do that. Usually the voters, most of the time, the voters want a 1 or 2 loss. I think that's going to change with more conference games.
Yeah.
But so real quick, Cal Berkeley is third again.
Whoa.
This is a program that doesn't care. They're more about, legalizing weed,
nice,
climate change,
word,
driving Subarus, whatever, saving the whales off the coast of Antarctica. Cal Berkeley is 13th in the transfer portal.
What?
Nobody gives a damn about, but they've got money.
Yeah.
And evidently someone in their world has gotten them going. I mean, they got 29 commitments. 5 of them are 4 stars. This is Cal Berkeley.
Wow.
Let me find Stanford.
Look out. Somebody decided they want to win.
They did.
Woke up and wanted to win. It's really that easy.
It's not. But I don't see Stanford unless I missed them.
Yeah, they hadn't woken up.
Let me
and wanted to win
go
yet.
through this again. Cal Berkeley is 13th.
Let's go, baby.
I want to make sure that people know that Jeff Brom at Louisville, they're 16th. They're bringing in 30 new portal players. Ole Miss, Louisville, in Nashville, game 1 this year. Pete Golding's first regular season game. Okay, Jeff Brom has been a head coach at Louisville, Purdue, and Western Kentucky, won it all 3.
This is Golding's first game. It's his first, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had incredible guardrails. First of all, they drew Tulane,
right?
Who's not even in the same zip code.
No.
James Madison, Tulane, great stories, had no business being the college football playoff, but the Georgia win was huge.
Huge.
I don't see
Stanford.
No, but I may have missed them. I see some academic schools. Virginia at 35. SMU at 39, Vanderbilt at 40. Northwestern, another private school, at 43. There you go. All right.
Northwestern at 43. Dang.
Yeah. They got the new coach, hired Chip Kelly as an OC, not as their coach.
That's right.
Fitzgerald got another job. He did a great job at Northwestern. Looked like he kind of got maybe hosed, that some things went weird sideways. I think there was some, I don't remember if it was weight room hazing. I can't remember. But anyway, Fitzgerald was able to shake it. I think he won his case against Northwestern, and then Michigan State hired him.
Dang.
He's one of those guys that can take, like Leach, that can take just a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
Like when you walk into a room and it's totally just in disarray, disaster, and still make it work.
He's only 51.
Damn, he must have become the coach at Northwestern at like 32 or 33 or something crazy. Well, he was on their Rose Bowl team under like Barnett in 90. This was way before you, but like they were the darlings, like Indiana, but different. I think it was Barnett, but I can't remember but Fitzgerald was a linebacker on like their Rose Bowl team in like 96 or something.
95. Well, okay, yeah, he was a Rose Bowl and a Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That was in 95, 96 as well, and then boom, he was the head coach and started in 06. He was 32. Maybe 31, sorry.
31.
Wow.
When he got the job?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he did a hell of a job at a place that is super difficult to get into and recruit to, and they weren't paying players, but now it looks like they will legally. I think they're Northwestern, again, another university in Chicago that has mega bucks, right? If they decide they want to get in, then and you're noticing that the transfer portal is getting more and more saturated because now everybody's getting in. And by next year, it'll be even more.
Yep.
To grab, the players that you want.
Pat Fitzgerald was a Jack Lambert Trophy winner, 2-time Ben Derrick Award winner.
He was an absolute dog at linebacker.
2-time All-American, 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year.
He's a fantastic player.
Dead gum.
Yeah. He was Luke Kuechly without the pro career, but he was fantastic at, I don't know if he had a cup of coffee in the NFL, but you just mentioned that he got the job by the time he was 31 years old. But he was part of like iconic, historic Northwestern teams that never won, and then they went to the Rose and Citrus. Is that what you told me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's the new coach at Michigan State. So we'll see how that looks. I think he'll win. And what I mean by that is 6 to 8 games a year, maybe every now and then go get something bigger, but he'll have the culture, the toughness, the strength and conditioning piece, the development piece. He'll get everything out of the players that they can get to East Lansing, which there is something to that.
Man, I forgot they barely lost to Auburn the year Auburn won it all with Cam. It was 38-35.
In the regular season?
In OT. The year before they won the BCS. He went, okay, they started 4-8, 2-6 in Big Ten, ended up going 6-6 the next year, then 9-3. 2 years.
He's a hell of a coach.
Turned it right around.
Tough place to win.
Yeah, it's Northwestern.
And so is Michigan State. I mean, Saban got out, history would be different. Saban was on the ropes at Michigan State.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going the way that they needed it to go. And in about 97 or 98, he beat Ohio State. And he talks about how,
swing.
And Saban was into that thing. Don't look at the scoreboard. You hear Signetti reference it. Don't look at the scoreboard. Just play each play.
Yep.
I know it sounds corny and it sounds simple, but all of us have played sports, and that's really difficult to do. And Saban talks about how they were on, weren't sure which way this thing was going to go. Am I going to end up back in the NFL as a DC or a DB coach? And they beat Ohio State and John Cooper in around that 97, 98 range. And he was able to drop an 8 or 9 win season. And then he parlayed that a year or two later into the LSU job. And the rest is history.
He claims his biggest professional regret was leaving LSU.
Yeah. And that's why he told Lane I asked for that. Do you have the Lane on what Saban told him?
Yep.
Did we play that earlier? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did. I'll drop it.
Okay. This is Lane on what Saban told him about the LSU job.
John Carmouche and Verge and Julie came in and met with me. I know I keep saying it. It was just different. The feeling was different. And as I sat there and I told the story at the press conference, I was torn. And when I called Coach Saban and talked it through with him, he said, Lane, you'll always regret if you don't go to LSU. It's the best job in America. And when he said that, that really made the decision for me. And as I've looked at it, it has pushed me. It has got me out of a comfort zone that we were doing amazing things, but you come here and you feel the power of the place. and it drives you every day to even go to another level. When John.
All right, so that was Lane. He is definitely romanticizing LSU. And I've said, even prior to Lane, the 3 jobs in the country, LSU, Georgia, Ohio State. Now, every now and then another school can come in that VIP area, Jackson. But if I'm an agent and I got the hottest dude on the market, LSU, Georgia, Ohio State. Why? We've talked about it all the time. You know it. You already know the answer. No, you're the only game in town in that state. And you're already a monster. You've already proven that you can win national championships. 2 of the 3 have won national championships with more than one guy, even in the 2000s, right? Jim Tressel, Urban Meyer, Ryan Day, Ohio State, Nick Saban, Les Miles, Ed Ogeron. 2 of those 3 are not good head coaches. Does that tell you what kind of monster and ridiculous, incredible program you are? Ed Ogeron went 10-25 at Ole Miss. Then they put the greatest team in the history of college football on the field in 2019 in boat race, people. I was at that national championship game. Clemson gave them a game for the first quarter, and LSU just went, we're putting the pedal down. We're gas, boom, see ya. And Georgia, Kirby, all Mark Richt did, and he'll never be considered a great coach, but a nice guy and a solid plus coach. All he did was win 9 to 11 games, and then Kirby goes in there and wins 2 national championships and plays for 3. It's LSU. You can do whatever order you want. It's just going to depend on whether you like them or not. LSU, Georgia, Ohio State. That's it. There could be some others join the VIP area. Speaking of VIP, if you want a VIP dinner, Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance. How about a wood-fired pizza? It hits the table, and it's hot, and it looks beautiful. It's loaded up with meat, cheese. You got a good glass of wine or sweet tea or cold beer or an Elijah Craig old-fashioned. TasteItalianKitchen.com. If you missed Mick Gillespie on Alabama, you can go to YouTube and search Out of Bounds Sports. Show is brought to you by Madison Ridgeland Academy, educating the mind, body, and spirit. And basically, if you have a child that is newly born, you need to get on the waiting list. The wait list is pre-K through 9th. There's a couple of slots, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Go ahead and book your private tour of the MRA campus today, whether you're a young couple with a newborn or you've got a 10th grader. 601-856-4455. Madison Ridgeland Academy on Old Canton Road. See you tomorrow.